Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Five-star quarterback and Tennessee commit Faizon Brandon, currently out in California, competing in the Elite 11 finals. His name is all over social media, and I want to go through some of those live updates, but they also asked him out there in California about who he is recruiting at Tennessee, and I want to talk about some of those names, but I want to go through some of the live updates. You can go to Twitter, and you can see, again, Brett Coleman tweets out, just wrapped up day one here at the Elite 11 finals. My one and only note for the day is that Faizon Brandon hype is well-deserved. The kid is a freak show. Now, again, Faizon Brandon, five-star quarterback, committed to Tennessee, the 2024 Gatorade and Max Preps Player of the Year in North Carolina. He's 29-1. 29-1 as a starting quarterback the last two seasons. This past year, he completed 77% of his passes, threw for over 2,800 yards, 35 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions, also added 625 yards on the ground along with 9 touchdowns. Andrew Ivins over at 247 Sports says he checks all the boxes. He's got the arm talent. He's a dual threat guy. He looks the part physically. I think he is the heartbeat of this class of 26 for Tennessee. I think it begins and it ends with Faizon Brandon. And I get it. You can sit back. You can be a Negavall. You can throw your Cheetos at the screen and say, well, Boogie, you told us this about Nico. But you know what? Even when we thought Nico still could be that guy, even when Nico was still rocking orange, I was still pointing to that class of 26 and saying it may not be Nico, it may be Faizon Brandon in that class of 26. I want to go through some of the live updates from On3 was out there in California, and I kind of skimmed through this article to put together the high spots where they only talk about Faizon Brandon, but it kicks off kind of talking about what the Elite 11 is. It says day one of the 2025 Elite 11 Finals, featuring 20 of the nation's top quarterbacks, is set to kick off Tuesday evening in Los Angeles. It says there are few higher honors for high school quarterbacks than being invited to the event, which will celebrate its 27th year in 2025. It goes on to say it brings together the country's elite signal callers for 3 days of competition, skill work, and training, which culminates with a 7-on-7 skill showcase on Thursday night. Each of the prospects was selected after being a top performer during one of the event's 8 regional feeder camps this spring. It says this year's group features 15 of the top 20 quarterbacks in the On3 industry rankings and 7 of the country's top 10 passers. It says On3's national recruiting team of Chad Simmons, Steve Wiltfong, and Charles Powers are on hand Tuesday night for the first throwing session and will be providing live coverage throughout. So that's what I'm going to kind of go through here is their live coverage. First and foremost, as the quarterbacks come out and start throwing the ball around, there's positive comments about Faizon Brandon's size and frame. This comes directly from Charles Power, the On3 director of scouting and recruiting. Says he was impressed with the way Brandon threw the ball, good velocity, likes the way the ball comes out of his hand. Also said he looked comfortable on the 2 deep balls he threw, tight spiral as they turned over. He says many of the quarterbacks out here have struggled with that. Now, if you go to Twitter and you start looking around social media, you can find some of these throws, and we're going to take a look at them here. Here's one of the deep balls from Faizon Brandon, drops back, drops it in a bucket, man. Just a deep ball accuracy. But again, what I love is just the overall athleticism, right? The true dual threat ability mixed in with the arm talent. I love this kid. I think he could be special in Josh Heupel's offense. Let's go take a look. It says here that Brandon also won the Rail Shot Challenge, which is a knockout style competition judged by the Elite 11 staff. Got a lot of throws in this one. Let's take a look at it. And you can see what he's doing out there in Los Angeles. It goes on to say directly from the article, as is the case every year, the Rail Shot Challenge is highly subjective and debated by the different coaches out here. But regardless, you can see Faizon Brandon making all of the throws. At the end of the day, day one, night one of the Elite 11 camp, On3 ranked Faizon Brandon as the #1 performer for day one. We'll continue to follow, see what he does out there. We'll see if any of the rankings shift out there at On3 after this event. They asked Faizon Brandon after the event was over, said, who are you recruiting at Tennessee? And here is the quote from Faizon Brandon. He says, I think we can land TK and Legend Bay, really trying to work on Savion Hyder. Those are 3 guys I think we'll be able to get. I'm still staying on them and talking to them, and they know they are wanted at Tennessee. Now, we've talked a whole lot about Tristan Keys. We've talked a whole lot about Savion Hyder, but one guy that we've not talked a lot about that he has mentioned here is Legend Bay, the 4-star athlete. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it, but you guys know the deal by now. I need you to do that YouTube stuff for me. I need you to smash the thumbs up right down here below the video. It's quick, free, easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not journalists. We don't pretend to be that. What we are is exactly what you guys are. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We're live every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, but we are live tonight, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Colton Hood, Tennessee defensive back, transferred from Colorado, is going to be on the show. Come show up, show out, and show some love to Colton Hood. Interactive. You guys can ask questions. It's always a good time. But just showing love to the Tennessee players that are taking time out of their schedule to come on here and hang out with the fans. So join us tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. But I want to talk about Legend Bay because we've not talked about him on this channel a whole lot. And he was just in town this past weekend for his official visit. But again, when they asked Faizon Brandon, who are you recruiting? He mentions Tristan Keys, the #1 ranked wide receiver in the country. He mentioned Savion Hyder, the #1 running back in the country. Why does he mention Legend Bay here as well? 4-star athlete, 5'9", 170 pounds, out of Forney, Texas, ranked just outside the on 300, ranked 310th nationally, dropped his top 5 back on May the 22nd. He included Duke, Ohio State, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and West Virginia. There's no scouting report out there, not a scouting report at On3, not a scouting report at 247 Sports, but I did find this from an On3 article, and I like what it said. It says he is an explosive athlete. Said Bay could play quarterback at the next level, but projects as a receiver or in the secondary. Says he stars under center on the prep level, threw for 1,400 yards as a junior with another 1,900 rushing yards and 41 total touchdowns. He was his district's offensive MVP. Here's what I like. Bay has a 10.2 speed in the 100-meter dash and is one of the fastest players in the country in this 2026 class. Now, according to VolQuest, Tennessee is recruiting him to play the wide receiver position. Some other schools are recruiting him as a true athlete. And then Duke, you see Duke mentioned there in the top 5. That's because Duke is recruiting him at the quarterback position. But you give me that elite speed, 10-2 in the 100, and you put it at wide receiver, and you let Josh Heupel scheme him open, and you let Faizon Brandon show that deep ball accuracy that we just saw in the video, and let's call it a day, and let's go win some ball games with this class of 2026. You cannot teach that elite level speed. And again, they're saying he is one of the fastest players in the country in this 2026 class. He was just here this past weekend for his official visit, along with Tristan Keys, along with Faizon Brandon. A lot of pictures out there with all of those guys, and you love to see it. I could take a look at it right there on his Twitter account. He tweets out just good stuff, man. Good stuff. Excited. I like that Faizon Brandon was here that same weekend. I like that Tristan Keys was here that same weekend. Coming off of the visit, this is what he said he liked about it. He said everything. He said the culture, I love the guys and the players, Coach Pope, Coach Hype, those are my boys. They are real honest, so I would definitely say this is a place I would want to be at. Speaking of the visit, he says my expectations were high, but they were met for sure. I liked how we got on top of the stadium. That was crazy to me. Now, we talk about versatility, right? Being an athlete, almost 2,000 rushing yards this past season in high school. This is what Tennessee said. They told me I will be able to get in the backfield, go out wide in the slot, even throw the ball around a little bit. I don't mind switching positions because growing up, I was playing different positions, so I'm not really scared about that. I was just looking for the right vibe and feel. Tennessee definitely helped themselves. I would say they are at the top somewhere. Creativity. We talk about this offense and missing some creativity. Look what they did with Princeton Fant, man. He's a guy that threw for a touchdown, caught touchdowns, ran touchdowns. I think if you are the right fit, the right mold, a guy like Legend Bay, I think Tennessee could get creative with him. Matt Ray, after the visit, put out an update on VolQuest, said Tennessee leaves the weekend in an excellent spot for Legend Bay. Had his family along with him on the trip, and the Vols had a great visit with him. Texas A&M is up next weekend, and now that he has made his mind up that he is comfortable switching to wide receiver, this one is going to come down to the Vols and the Aggies. He will announce a decision before the end of the month. So again, in town this past weekend on Rocky Top, he will visit Texas A&M this upcoming weekend, and then he is scheduled to make a decision on June the 28th. So Tennessee kind of late to the game on this one. He's willing to play wide receiver. Does he see himself playing wide receiver in this offense with Faizon Brandon slinging him the rock? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. I would appreciate it. Ways you can support this channel: pick up Talkin VAWLS merchandise, bonfire.com/store/TalkinVAWLS, or real quick and easy, you can hit the join button right down there below. There's also a link in the description. You become a member of this channel. It's just $1 a month. You keep the lights on. If you like the videos, the content, the live stream, your support means the world to us. Hit that join button and become a member, or there is a link in the description to become a member to pick up the merchandise. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.